All right, today we're going to be doing the SOS Performance Drop Kit. So it's going to come with everything you need. So we got some bump stops, the hardware for these U-bolts, and then the new spring perch with the little sleeves. So there should be two pretty much of each. And then you got your lowering blocks. So the first step is to make sure you follow these down or just somehow grind them down a little bit because they will not sit flush. So I just put a little Sharpie marker just so I know when to stop. All right, go ahead, man.
Where is it? There?
All right, we got it on the vise now. Safer. All right, so we got them all sanded down a little bit. It should just be enough. I mean, if not, you can always sand them down more, but that should be enough to fit perfectly. All right, so we're gonna be starting out with the front right, just because we can get a little bit more shade. It's a hot day. Just showing y'all how it looks like right now. You know, the height before we lower it. You know, it already looks good, to be honest, but I mean, why not, right? It's an X runner. So all this is for the rear. You got the new bump stops and stuff, and then just these right here are all you'll need for the front. The hardest part with the front is just unbolting everything and getting the shock out and using the spring compressor. Other than that though, it's pretty simple. It's just these two things that'll lower your front end. All right, so we did the other side. We did this side completely just so we could figure out how to do it, and then I'm gonna show you how to do it. So you see that's the new spring perch right there. So let's get it. So you're gonna take the entire wheel off, and then you got these 3 bolts on top, right? So 1, 2, 3. Don't touch the middle one yet because that's for the spring. And then you're gonna take out the upper control arm bolts. So you got one on this side, one on this side, and then you got this brake mount. It's like a little 10mm. And then down here, that's also another brake line. You're gonna have to take that out. It's a 12. You're gonna have to take out this sway bar end link, and then the strut mount right here on the bottom. So that's pretty much it. So you got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you're gonna have to take out the sway bar as well, but that's easy. These are just 12mm bolts, and you're gonna have to do it to both sides so you can drop this and it'll be free, so you can move the actual strut out. All right, we're gonna start taking out the bottom of the strut mount. Go ahead. So the nut is out. The bolt is holding it in. You're gonna have to like hammer that motherfucker out. All right, I'm just gonna punch the bolt out. That's a 19mm socket, by the way, for this lower strut mount. There it goes. All right, now we got the top strut mounts. These are 14mm bolts. We're using a ratchet, a big cheater bar. Thing's tough, right?
Yes, sir. There we go.
Yeah, they're little C's. Make sure you spray some PB Blaster on these. All right, and we got 2 more. All right, so we got all 3 top strut mounts out. Now we're getting the, go ahead, man. We're getting the brake line on the bottom. That thing is tough, man. Yeah, it might be a little helpful to leave the bottom strut mount bolt, but as you saw, it can be done. So just get that out so you can remove the brake line from the bracket. All right, and then just a 10mm for this top one. Go ahead. This one should be the easiest, unless yours is hella seized. So you see the bottom one, it just comes out. And once you take out that bolt, it just kind of hangs out free. sir. So now this whole thing should be free. You do have to, there is a little bracket, a tab. Can you see that? Yeah, you see that little tab right there? You kind of have to lift it out. See? Yeah, there it is. All right, cool. That's it. Now we're gonna get to the control arm bolts, so this can drop down. Oh wait, we still gotta do the sway bar. So now we're just doing the sway bar. Should be simple. You might need the Allen wrench on top, but for us, we don't. And then when you take out this bolt, just be aware of how the gasket and the washer sits. All right, so once you take out that bolt, you see the sway bar just kind of hangs out. And that's what I'm saying, you gotta take out these two 12 millimeters on both sides, so this thing can just kind of hang out free, so you can move it out the way. All right, now before you take out these control arm bolts, you kind of want to jack it up because this whole thing is gonna drop once these bolts are free. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, now these bolts for the control arm are 17s. I might have said 19 earlier, but they're 17s.
Fire away.
Fire away. This side. Nice. So now once we take these bolts out, the thing will just fall free. Just when it does, just be aware of your see that side already, it's coming out. Just be aware of the brake lines when the thing comes out, and also be careful for the washers. You don't want to lose them. Just like that. Here. There it is. Oh shit. You know what, that should be fine. So it's just hanging out right now. You see all this space that we just created. This thing is on the ball joint, so this thing got plenty of leeway to move around. Like I said, just be careful for your brake line. We could honestly remove this one right here. You could, but it's not really necessary. You're only gonna get a little bit more space. This is all you need. So now we're gonna go ahead and pull out the strut. Look at that, easy. And then, yep, that brake line back there. Just feed it over it. Oh, Jesus. There it is. All right, now we'll take it over to the floor, and we're gonna go work on this. All right, so we just got these little compressor things right here. It's a little 2-pack. Just rented it straight from O'Reilly's. Easy day. And they're pretty simple to use too. They came with these little washers. Honestly, I don't know what these are used for, so I'm just putting them back in there because we didn't need them for the other one. But yeah, we'll show you how to get them on. All right, so they're pretty simple. As you can see, you just want them 180 degrees from each other, so just across from each other. And these X-Runner springs, there was only like 4 coils, so you only need to do these middle ones right here. You don't need to do the whole down here because it gets tricky, because these are some thick coils. So you can see here, you're gonna want to push in these, but they don't go in easy, so you gotta hammer them in. They will kind of cut at the coil a little bit, but it's ain't no big deal. So go ahead, we're gonna hammer them in right now. Just like that. Kind of like digs in, but there it is. Now it's very safe. And now you just tighten them right here. right, so you know when it's good to go when you can rotate it from the spring perch. So you see that's play right here. So now we should be good to take out this top bolt and move on to the next step. All right, now so for this, it's just a 17 millimeter, and you're gonna need something to hold the top end so it doesn't spin. So you see it's kind of spinning right now.
Wait, let me
Sir. There it is. And then just get this whole bolt off and show you what happens next.
Yeah.
All right, so then once you get that bolt out, you should just be able to take off this little top hat part. I'm guessing that's what you call it. Yep, just like that. I mean, yep. And then the spring just comes right out from the strut. Just like that. And now you're left with this. So you might want to spray some blaster or whatever, because you're gonna have to hammer this out, and it's pretty seized in there. I mean, they have like their own adhesive they apply from the factory, I'm guessing. And then you just bang it out. Hit it downward. So yeah, because it comes out this way, because obviously this bracket's in the way. Yeah, just get to hammering. It might seem like it's not going, but trust me, it is. You just have to break it free. And yeah, good luck. All right, and you see it's about to fall off. You're just hitting it with the rubber mallet. Just like that. Cool. Sick. All right. All right, so they include this. It's like a little adhesive in the package, so you just cut the slit off the top, and then you just squeeze them out together all at once. Yeah, just like that. All right, and then when it's like that, just give it a good mix. Also, you're gonna want to clean the strut, because this is going on the strut.
Next, you're gonna put your shock collar down and put the top line and bottom line. So you put the glue between those two lines, which we're doing right now. You want to get all the way around.
As much as you can.
Yep. And make sure you're ready for this, because it's already drying.
Yeah, this shit dries quick. So.
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right, that should be good.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and I'll slide down the collar. Just like that. So you see, this collar goes down below where the original one does. So this will sit like right here, and then this new one sits lower. That's how it lowers your front end.
Yes, sir.
And then you drop in the spring perch, obviously like this, because that's where the spring is going to sit on top right there. It just sits right over the collar. So that's it. Now we just reassemble the strut with all the original hardware. All right, so now we're just screwing it in. So we put all the everything back on it with the spring, and we have the boot kind of made it up to where it originally was. You can feel there's a groove where this part was sitting in, so you're just kind of lining it up so you don't mess up the rubber any more than it needs to be. And right here we're just hand tightening this. Eventually it's gonna get so tight to the point where it kind of just maxes out on the threads, and that's pretty much it. I mean, once that's tight, that's pretty much tight. All right, so when it's maxed out, you're basically gonna have that much thread left. Like, it's literally maxed. Like, you can't screw it down anymore. So just as tight as you can. That thing's not going nowhere. And now we're just gonna take off the little spring compressors, and we're good to go. Alright, now we're just loosening them. Just make ssure that this is seated correctly and your top part's seated, and just gradually loosen the side. All right, so we're just feeding it up from the bottom. Just clearing out the brake lines. And then once you get it through those mounting holes, it should be very simple to reverse it. And then this bottom part rotates so you don't have to worry about it being out of alignment. And you want it in the same alignment with this bracket. All right, now we're just gonna bolt everything up and should be good to go. All right, we got everything back together. See the new spring perch. Now we're about to drop it. We haven't done the back yet, so just hold on for that. But yeah, let's go ahead and drop it. Like I said, we haven't done the back yet. Damn, that shit looking nice. Look at that. Like I said, once the back is dropped, it's gonna look so much nicer. Sir. All right, so we already started with the rear. Just took the wheel off, jacked it up. Right now we're jacking up the drive shaft. That's what they say in the manual. So yeah, so we actually just replaced the bump stop. It's super simple, like it's a no-brainer. It's 2 bolts and they are size, I believe size 12. And then instead of using these stock bolts, you're actually going to be using this. So there's a hole. So here's the stock bump stop, goes in like this, right? So you take these off with the 2 bolts, and then in the middle there's actually a hole for this bump stop. So it's literally just 1 bolt. See it? The Allen key, and then you just tighten it from the top. And you see mine's caked full of dirt. But yeah, now we're removing the U-bolts. So we're, like I said, we're jacking up the drive shaft real quick, just in case there's like any tension. Yeah, see, there's tension. And it's 4 bolts, so we already got 2 of them off on this one. And then we got 2 more. And then that's it. All right, it's probably not recommended, but we're jacking it up from the bottom of the drum brake rotor, so we just get enough clearance, because we got to raise that drive shaft. That should be good. Just drop the block in there. Perfect, just like that. Now it's just gonna sit there, and then you kind of drop it back in, and there's a hole. You see that? It's definitely not lined up right now, but wait, can we turn it? All right, so we finally got it. You can see it's dark outside now. This shit is honestly a pain in the ass. It doesn't line up correctly, so you just gotta fuck around with the jacks. You gotta kind of jack it up here, jack it up there. You gotta, you'll figure it out. It looks like it won't fit, but just trust me, just keep playing around with it. It will fit. Just, it will take some time. It's not an exact drop in, so, but it will fit, okay? Don't lose hope. You see, we got it bolted in. All 4. So now this side is done. We're gonna put the wheel on and work on the other side. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. So Andretti, man, he's my helper right here. Yes, sir, man. We're gonna get this X runner drop, and I'll include it later what it looks like when it's all done. But yeah. All right, guys. So here you have it. It's done. I feel like this right side is less dropped. I don't know why. It just looks a little dropped, or a little less dropped. But it's not bad. I mean, it's a slight drop. It was a lot of work though. Those rear blocks were a little harder than I expected, but it all worked out. You see the front definitely cambers a lot more. Definitely. So make sure you get in alignment when you get it done. But if you got any questions, just let me know. It's not bad though. It's not a bad drop. It's slight, you know. if I wanted to go lower, I would have got the DJM, but this is perfect because, you know, I drive it like a truck, you know what I'm saying? Like this is, I bought this truck so I don't have to drive as if I'm driving a low car, because I'll show you right now. So I already got my Lexus that's on bags. The work wheels, you see. So I already got low cars, man. Got the Integra. It's still being worked on, but it doesn't look that low because of the wheel gap, but trust me, this thing is dumped. You know what I'm saying? So I should probably get some thicker tires because it doesn't look that low, to be honest. It's kind of disappointing. But this thing is dumped. But yeah, I mean, that's why I got the truck. So